Good afternoon, everybody. I really like how my page came out yesterday. I'm loving that one. Of course, I'm really liking the whole book, so I must have found something I really like. Now, what's really bad is that I was working a month or so ago on an art journal, and I didn't finish because I went to doing the Use It Up project, and this was supposed to be a Use It Up project, and it's kind of turned into an art journal. I was just having so much fun with that, with the little book. I thought, oh, I just want to work on it. So I guess I'm using it up but it doesn't use up anything very fast because I still have all of these little pieces of paper everywhere, and well. I used to have it was like a bumper sticker, but I had it on my wall in my sewing room, and it said, I can't die until I use it all. So I have a supply that's going to last an awfully long time, so I guess I'm good for a while. I also had one that said that she who dies with the most fabric wins, but and I definitely have a lot of fabric, but I now seem to have an awful lot of paper. And I've been collecting books lately, like a mad woman. And you know, you only can use so much book paper. It truly is something that you can get some more of later. So I really am going to have to find something that keeps that off the edges of the cap. And I need a new piece of wax paper because this one's sticky. I hope everybody's having fun today. I hope that your fall has actually started. We don't get a lot of fall weather here. It's always just a little too warm. Either that or cold. As cold as what is relative, because we spent the last 12 years, I think 12 years in South Dakota, so I have never experienced anything quite so cold as South Dakota. So, but that's all right. I'm from Michigan, and it snows in Michigan, but I've never had it be as cold as it was in South Dakota. Hubby's from down here where he didn't really know what cold was. Found out pretty quick. Knew he didn't like it. But you know, you go where the job is. Now, I used this last time to create the inked lines over there. And I think this time, let's see. This is a micron pigment pen, and it's a very, very fine point. So I'm not sure this is going to be what I want. We will start with one right here in the middle so that I can disguise it if I don't like it. And I am just going to trace around the inside. And I kind of think that I want the very fine line for what I have in my mind. But if I decide I don't like it, I can always go over it. It's always better to start with a smaller pencil or a smaller pen than you think you want in the end. Yes, okay. Because I want to do that sort of as a background. Now, I am laying this leaf over here, and where it touches the lines, I am not going to draw the whole thing. So in other words, I'm making this leaf go behind the one I just made. And this is kind of tedious, but that's okay. The whole point is supposed to be fun. Now, if you don't like doing something like this, don't pick tracing. Oh yes, I'm liking that a lot. Yeah, it looks like you can see it pretty well. And honestly, I should have picked this giant one to go behind things because it's simple and therefore would be easy to see how the pattern holds out behind. But that's all right. And this is just cardstock, so it is going to move around on you. This is sort of just a background, so it really, if you've got a little bit of a fudge, it's not a big deal. And I don't know what kind of leaf this one is. It's very sawtoothed. I should know. I probably should know. Let's put it that way. It looks familiar. This little guy's a maple. I think we've talked about the fact that I miss the maples. Now, this is fall, and I suppose I should do some pumpkins and some things like that. I'm not really a big I'm not really into that pumpkins and all that stuff, but I probably will find one somewhere along the line. I have a few more pages in my book to do before we're done. I just love the fall leaves, so that seems to have been what's captivated me about doing this little book. and trying this. The other thing is that this started to be, I thought I was going to just do collages, and these are collages, but at the same time there's some little bits of different techniques that I'm incorporating, and I just really like how it's coming out. Now, and this happened the last time I used one of these. There was two. Okay, guys, I probably better check that, so I'll be right back. I'm going to stop the video and I'll be back. Sorry about that, guys. That was my husband telling me that he's on his way home. He's gone at an odd time today, so he's... And frankly, my phone does not chime very often, so I like to check it if it does. Okay, I don't like that one. All right, I'm liking that. Now I've lost my little pen. There we go. Now we need another little... We need to continue. This is probably one of the more time-consuming pages, maybe. I'm not sure. I am glad I decided to use the tiny little thin line micron pen, though. I would not have liked it had it been real obvious what was going on. You can see it, but okay. We need one of these up here. I'm always afraid I'm getting my head right in your way. No, my hands are in your way. You can't see anything, but if I was really talented, I could draw these freehand, but I am not. Last weekend I took a class from a young man from here in town. It was very interesting. He was talking about when you draw a person and how you start and what you look for and the shapes and the way the body is tilted, and I really enjoyed it. I don't really draw. I play. I'm pretty good at that. But he's an illustrator, and it was very interesting. I was glad I had gone because I had kind of not wanted to go to the meeting. I was just tired. like I said, when I draw the ones that are under the others, I just stop wherever I see the drawing from the last leaf. And it just makes it look like it's layered. When I originally planned this little book, and I built the base out of the file folders, I was going to do a complete decorated little sort of vintage journal. And then I decided I wanted to play and do these little collage things that I had planned. And I love this little size. It's just a great little, it's not but 4 by 6 roughly, isn't that what it is? Ended up being? It's 4.5 by 7, and it's just a fabulous size for. For working on a day, especially when you don't have time to do much art, it's just a great little size. I may make a couple more to have for other projects. For some reason it's wet. I must have gotten a little more, what do you call that stuff? Yes, paste under there than I expected, because it wanted to catch my pen. And the pen was catching in the paper, is what I'm trying to say. Oh yes, I'm very pleased with that. Now where did I lose my little cap at? Okay. Now we're going to put those 3 up in there. And I think they're not wanting to behave. They're wanting to get up and walk around or something. I don't know. I think we're going to put these down here. We need a tiny little one right here. Not sure about that one. It may need a companion. That is, I like the, I don't know that you can see it as well as I can, but I like what happened with the background, just doing a little tidbit of the stenciling. Took a little while, but that's okay. One thing about it is you guys can fast forward if it's really boring. You do want to get on these little tiny stems, you want to make sure you get a little bit of glue, because otherwise they're going to want to pick up, and that will pull off your little leaves. I think we need to do something different than die cuts tomorrow, though. Although I still have some real pretty ones. I suppose I'm going to have to go find some dinner for my hubby. Okay, let's do our squishy thing here. I like to do the squishy thing. There we go. Now somewhere up there in this horrible mess that I have made, there's my little, I didn't do a rub on today. I didn't have the desire to fight with it. Okay, the word today that just jumped out was adventure, so I think that's what we're going to use, is adventure. May have to go back and glue that one, I'm not sure. And of course we got to grunge up around it a little. Now I think we're gonna give it some extra little pokey things that stick out. Now if you want this to bleed, you can wet that down and it will bleed. It's a really interesting pencil. It's kind of inked inside of it. So that is our page for today. I'm still loving this. This is just I'm having so much fun with it. I hope everybody's had a really great day. And today's answer to what is creativity is, you learn creativity the same way you learn any skill, through practice. And that is very true. If you do not have the technical skills, you cannot be creative. That was one of the things the young man spoke to us about last week. Technical creates creativity. Creativity creates more technical. You must have both. Anyways, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please do that. And go have a fabulous day. Make some art.